Welcome to the Big Play Cleveland Show. I'm Gabriella Cruz alongside Chris McNeil and Nick Padone. Shout out to our producer, Ryan Smith. It's a little toasty in studio, as always, here at Burke Lakefront Airport. And, you know, we're coming off the holiday weekend, guys. It's nice to see everybody's got their fingers. And I know, McNeil, your family always does it big for the holidays.
Lit up plenty of fireworks over the weekend, Gab, and that was a lot of fun. Everybody was nice and safe. Everybody went home safely, and we ate a lot of good food. It's always a good time. Always a big party over there at the McNeil Mansion up there in Granville, Ohio. So,
nice.
And this year was no exception.
Awesome. I know McGrandma had to have, like, just tons of snacks and...
She did. The brats, the ribs, the whole 9 yards, just a complete spread. Unfortunately, the baseball wasn't as good to watch once again.
Oh, man.
Less to celebrate there.
Yeah.
It has been not much to celebrate with our Cleveland Guardians. I know we'll get to that in our Cleveland headlines, but guys, it feels like we are really on a downhill spiral right now.
Dog days of summer are upon us.
The heat is in full swing, but none of the bats are hot. And the irony of just sitting through these games and you're a little sweaty, it's a little humid, you know, you're grinding it through. We've had packed houses, and it's so good to see that, but it's been really tough not being able to perform for these big home crowds. And we're going to get into our Cleveland sports headlines, actually. We can do a little brief intro. Well, let's just get into it, guys. Our Cleveland sports headlines brought to you by Fairway Ford.
Fairway Ford offers complete customization for any vehicle on their lot with the Fairway Black Label line. This series features custom upgrades like premium wheel and tire packages, a wide variety of level or lift kits, performance enhancements, and fully customized interior options. And every Fairway Black Label truck comes with a Rhino spray-in bed liner. Whether you're looking for an aggressive off-road stance, a bold street presence, or a one-of-a-kind build, Fairway Black Label delivers. As a bonus, many of these upgrades can be financed for as little as 0% APR, depending upon the vehicle line. You dream it, they can build it. Visit fairwayfordohio.com to explore their current Black Label inventory or give them a call to start designing yours today.
All right, gang, let's start with the Guardians since we were just there. They lose their 10th straight, and the team is just finding, it seems, new ways to lose. We're so used to last year. This was a team that maybe we didn't start great, but we always found a way to rally, come from behind, and win. And it provided a lot of excitement and really just sustained us through that season. And right now, it's just like we can't get it done. We're losing by one run in extra innings. What do you think is the biggest problem?
Well, it's our offense. We were shut out 5 times during this streak right now. Obviously, we can't hit it all. Half of our lineup is batting well under 300 right now. Really, we've got 2 all-stars. We've got Jose. We've got Steven Kwan. Outside of that, we've got nothing. A little bit from Santana, I guess, and hopefully we'll be able to get something from him on the open market. I don't know. Pitching has been okay, you know, but certainly our offense is not delivering. And it's very frustrating, like you said, Gab. The fans are showing up. We're packing that stadium. We just came off of a huge home series with Detroit where we got swept, but the fans were all there. Now, you had a lot of Detroit fans in that series,
that's true.
But the fans have been out, and that's what ownership talks about is, hey, the fans aren't there. We don't have the attendance to justify a high payroll. Well, guess what? The fans are there for you right now, and I would like to see ownership give us something back. This season's a wash, though. This season, Nick, I think we're done.
Yeah, this team was 3 wins away from the World Series last year, and they rewarded the 1 million fans that entered and exited that stadium with trading their platinum glove second baseman and having no replacement option, and trading an 100 RBI heartbeat of the team in Josh Naylor, and the replacement was Carlos Santana, Kyle Manzardo, and a bunch of guys that candidly don't belong in Major League Baseball. And it's really frustrating. The Guardians have no offense right now. They have a player that's under federal investigation. It's, you know, between the lack of offense and now a big, controversy. Doesn't it start to feel like Brown season early here in Cleveland, Chris?
Oh, I'm not ready for that right now. And actually, the optimistic talk in town is the Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
Right?
Yeah.
We got a month from basically tomorrow. You've got your first preseason game down there in Carolina. So it's amazing how quickly the cycle starts over again with another team here in Cleveland. Time keeps on marching.
Bring it on. Bring it on. I think all of us are ready to move on from this Guardians season. It's painful to say because, again, you were right there on the doorstep of making another World Series last year, and you did absolutely nothing with it. The fans have every right to be really upset with what's going on right now.
Let's take a look at the Cavs here and this offseason. Larry Nance Jr. returning to Cleveland. The Cavs added another nice piece with the return of Larry Nance Jr. How would you grade the Cavs offseason so far?
Well, right now I'd say it's incomplete, but I do like the addition of Larry Nance Jr. A Revere guy. I also went to Revere my freshman year, famously from the Akron area, is Larry Nance, and he's going to help us in the front court. I think he gives us some versatility down there. He's going to be able to bang a little bit more. He gives us a little bit more inside presence, so I like that option coming off the bench with Larry Nance, and of course, he's a homegrown guy, and I like to see that.
And I think Cavs fans are going to realize, too, Larry Nance Jr. has evolved a little bit more as a player since the last time that he was in Cleveland. He's kind of unlocked a three-ball to his arsenal. He's a lot better rebounder, shot blocker. So you're getting a more complete Larry Nance Jr., maybe a full, kind of an evolved Larry Nance Jr., which is welcomed. And he kind of said it upon his return that he's very excited to be back in Cleveland, competing for something meaningful this time, because last time he was in Cleveland, we all know the team wasn't really good and they were heading in the wrong direction, a rebuilding direction. So it'll be really nice to have Larry Nance back in his hometown competing for hopefully another NBA championship.
Yeah, we're talking about hometown and LeBron rumors heating up. I know, Nick, you've been leading the charge on this, but what do you think about LeBron kind of dropping some of these cryptic messages? Or maybe we're looking too much into it, maybe not, but it kind of looks like he's hinting toward a return toward Cleveland with the proper attire comment on Allie Clifton's picture of her wearing the Cavs LeBron jersey. We also saw, he was at the Cavs practice facility working out. He had that welcome home hat at a Northeast Ohio golf outing recently. Where do you stand on your conspiracy now?
Yeah, I've told you guys for years, really, at this point. LeBron doesn't do anything by accident. So all of this stuff is very strategic. And I do think right now he's in a position of got his feelers out there. He picked up the contract option. He's not going to walk away from the $52 million that's owed to him from the Los Angeles Lakers. But the fact of the matter is the Lakers haven't had a phenomenal offseason. They went out and signed DeAndre Ayton, who was bought out. And DeAndre Ayton is kind of the polar opposite in terms of players that a LeBron James-led team would work well with. He's oftentimes had the label of being very lazy. He's not very active. He's certainly not a spot-up shooter, and that's kind of everything that LeBron hates playing with. So something tells me LeBron isn't going to be very happy going back to the Lakers from a basketball fit, but as we all know, he's turned the city of LA into his home. So it's going to kind of be up to him. Does he want to try to force a trade? Can he force a buyout with the Lakers where he maybe gives back some of this $50 million that he just opted into? There's a lot of wiring that still needs to happen in order for LeBron to work towards a return here in Cleveland. But I'm here to tell you that I don't think the door is shut on it by any stretch of the imagination. And I think LeBron's kind of telling you that it's not either.
And my DMs are lit with people giving me all kinds of reports from Pilates classes he's at, golf, how good he is at golf, how he cusses at golf. I mean, the whole 9 yards, down to the fact that I guess he's flying back to LA on Tuesday of this week. So you're even tracking the flights right now with LeBron. So we are heavy into LeBron watch, and I didn't see this coming, at least not at this level with where we're at right now. But it's just going to continue on, Nick. And guys like you love it and keep perpetrating that LeBron watch.
Yeah,
I
I can't believe the amount of people, guys, that are saying that they would rather to see the Cavs run it back with this core four and get bounced in the second round like they've come to be known to do, instead of welcome LeBron James back to Cleveland and try to shake some things up, try to compete for an NBA title. I think people that wouldn't want LeBron back in Cleveland are just a little bit crazy and maybe even lying to themselves at this point.
LeBron watch is on. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland right after this. The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com today. Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. It's time for our Garage Beer featured interview. Garage Beer is the perfect beer for any occasion. It's small batch, no frills, no bitterness. It's just beer that tastes like beer. The garage is always open with Garage Beer. And now we welcome on a very special guest in studio today. We've got the singer and guitarist for Houdini's Code. It's Kevin Cedar sitting with us in the Garage Beer throne. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is awesome.
gets a little toasty in here, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
so I'm
you're-
glad I wore a flannel. for
Yeah.
this.
Well, I'm sure you're used to sweating on stage and getting all worked up and excited with your performing. Your first and farewell tour kicks off this Saturday.
Yeah.
At the Rialto Theater. Is that how you say it in Akron?
Yeah. Yeah, so we this Saturday we play in Akron. We're with Sabin and Matilda Pablo. They'll be joining us, and yeah, we're pretty excited for the show. Yeah.
What's the Cleveland music scene like for those that don't know?
It's actually pretty good. Like the more like we've like dove into it, like just like the biggest thing with a rock band is you really have to connect with other rock bands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like just meeting all the people that we have, I don't know, the music scene has impressed me, especially like Akron has a nice scene out there. Cincinnati has a nice scene. Yeah.
So where else are you guys going to be playing during this tour?
Yeah. Ohio.
Love
so,
that.
So we said tour just because it's like, it frames it.
What is a
It makes
tour
it
of
look
Ohio?
so much
Yeah.
better.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It was more of a joke, but people have really like, oh, you're on tour? I'm like, yeah, sure. But yeah, we play in Akron. We play we play Bowling Green, which I went to BGSU, so I'm pretty excited on Halloween.
The hometown concert.
Yeah,
that's a big
right.
one for
in
you.
Howard's. It's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
We play Musica in Akron as well, and then Beachland Ballroom, which I'm excited for. We play the Tavern, not the Ballroom, but someday.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, biggest diva in the band is who? You could say yourself. You could put that out there.
I mean, as like the singer, like I feel like you have to be the biggest diva, but I'm gonna say, yeah, it's me. It's definitely me. I just feel like everyone else is kind of laid back and they go with the flow, and I feel like just because I don't know, we don't have a diva, but if there was one, it's me.
and the thing
I'll
is,
take
like,
it.
yeah, like somebody has to take ownership of it, right?
Yeah,
Like to
yeah.
get you guys gigs and to make sure these gigs go smoothly. So
Yeah.
I feel like it does kind of default on the singer, and usually the lead guitarist kind of has to be the guy that gets the rest of the group in order. That's usually how these things go.
So, Kevin, the name of the band is Houdini's Code. How did you guys come up with that name for this band?
Man, the guys hate me for this, but I came up with the name, and it's too late to like change.
You are
it.
the diva.
Yeah. Well, it started out where it was basically like a disguised solo project with,
Okay.
you know what I mean? And then it turned into a band. So like,
So it's all about you. Really,
at first it
initially.
was,
Yeah.
and now it's not, which
a
is
little
more,
bit
it's
less
way
about
more,
you.
way more fun now. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's a story basically that Harry Houdini like gave this secret code to his wife to like contact him after death. It sounded like a cool story.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's make that a band name. And now later on, I'm like, should we have used something else? Like, you know what I mean?
I like
Well, it
it.
sounds
Yeah.
cool. It's very mystical. It
Okay,
sounds like
yeah.
there's a lot to it, a lot of mystery, and that's kind of what you want as a band, right? You
Yeah.
want that kind of an image. You want to project that there's more to us than just this guy that you see up here on stage.
Man,
right?
we should hire you for our PR. Like, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, every time someone's asked me that question, I've always fumbled it because I have no idea what to say. I'm just like, yeah. Our joke is we're not into magic. Because we've been played on 107.3 Cleveland a lot.
Nice.
And there's a radio DJ there. He introduces us every time the same way. And like,
What's the introduction? What does he do?
it's the same thing every time. He's like, these guys are not into magic. Like someone wrote it as a joke. But like after 7 different times being on the show, we're like, dude, like there's more facts about us than like, can you use something else?
Oh,
for
you're
the love
stuck
of
with it
God?
now.
Yeah.
It's like getting a
Yeah.
nickname. Once you get
Yeah.
the nickname, it's done.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your tagline forever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's
But-
funny. Hey, you've talked about a portion of merch sales going to billionaires in need. What
Yeah.
does this mean? What's this?
So we want to give back. You know, music's about, bringing people together, and we're just trying to speak up for the ones who are forgotten about. And, it's a shame, like Jeff Bezos just got married, and I think his wedding was like only $1 billion.
Yeah, that's
Our
Right.
job is to get it to $2 billion for his third marriage. And yeah, we just care about billionaires. They get a lot of criticism nowadays. Shout out
come
Jimmy
on.
Haslam.
Let's be fair here, Kevin.
Jimmy and D Haslam.
Yeah, there you go. But you're right, and you hit on something there.
Yeah.
All charity starts at home, right?
Yes.
Keep it in Northeast Ohio. We need some hitting with the Guardians right now. How about helping out the Dolans? Can you give them a few bucks? It seems like they're a little light.
You know,
they can't seem to hit the free agent market. They can't bring in anybody. We can't hit our way out of a brown paper bag right now. We've lost 10 games in a row as of taping right now. So can you give them a few bucks? Maybe we get a hitter into Cleveland.
Honestly, we should. Yeah, the Dolans definitely need to be on the list because
Raise some money. Give
I
us a
mean,
right field.
and they
the
can't
list.
trade it. That's the only rule. If we give them charity, there's no trading, because we know they'll trade them for like a 6th round pick or something. But I don't know. At least the front office. Like I do trust the front office of the Guardians. I know a lot of people don't right now, but
hard
we're
to say
always
right now,
relevant,
yeah.
you know. And like I'll give them that because the Browns. Sometimes it gets a little rough over there, so you know what I mean.
No. Speaking of the Browns, what do you think about the guitar smash when they go out? They do the guitar smash at the beginning of the game. Does that like offend you as somebody who makes money off of music?
I love it. I think it's awesome. Like they had Zach Wilde do it, and they have I forget his last name, but that kid Max. I think Max Stackhouse. He's always doing it.
Yeah.
We almost played a show with him.
Did you really?
Yeah. He has a band called Stackhouse. Definitely check them out. He's super gifted guitar player. Yeah. He's like, I don't even know how, he's like 15.
Right.
Yeah.
He's so much better than
But
me.
he plays the guitar. He's not out there smashing the guitar at the beginning.
That's
right?
true. Yeah. That's a good point. I don't know. I feel like it's very rock and roll to smash the guitar.
Yeah.
They
Like,
are so if he's 15 though, think about this. Like by the time Brook Park opens, they're gonna have to either shrink him down or find a new kid to roll out there for the bid.
So kids right now,
you got to start
up
playing
the
the guitar,
guitar, right.
and you can
Yes.
play the Brook Park opener because Max is about to age himself out
I
here.
don't think so. I think Max is on his way to being a prodigy, and we're going to see in real time his progression, his evolution.
I
That's
agree.
what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at some point it's gonna lose its luster of like, here's this cute little
Not if he's
kid
the
playing
Cleveland Jimi
Thunderstruck.
Hendrix. Nuh-uh. Right?
I think he's got a long. Yeah.
he's going to age out of the position.
So you can only be a
You're
badass.
gonna have to
I'm, a
replace
little
that.
I'm just worried for him.
Yeah.
You know, like he's.
You're going to have to look at the minors.
They're
see
gonna have
what
to
the
shrink him
bench
down.
strength is. Yeah.
I think
Really?
is the way to do it. Yeah. Be
Yeah.
like, see, this is the same little kid you guys have known for years here at Brook Park, strumming his guitar.
And you grew up here in Cleveland, I assume, right? Are you a local
Technically,
guy?
Ashtabula County,
Okay.
Trash Tabula County is what I tell everyone. Everyone knows it by Trash Tabula County.
Right.
I feel like me and Urban Meyer are the only two people there who know how to read. But I've come a long way in that standard. But that's where I'm from, and now I live in Cleveland area.
So you know the way Cleveland, we've got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You got the Rockers coming back. It seems like every time we get an All-Star game, it's always associated with a guitar. Are you for that? Do you want to see like more guitar images out here associated with sports teams?
So I lived in Nashville for a year.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And the reason I say that is when you go to a bar in Nashville, there's music at every row. Like they kind of like live and die by like we're country music and musicians live there. I kind of want Cleveland to be that with rock and roll. Like obviously
cool.
rock and roll is like the birthplace like here in Cleveland, but I want it to be like everywhere. Like I want it to be like Nashville, but for rock and roll. So I'm for it. Honestly, anything that promotes music and giving back to Jeff Bezos, I'm for it. So.
Now, the other thing that people probably don't know about you is you kind of got to start on Twitter, started putting out videos, right?
That's how I know you, yeah.
Yeah. And then you started putting out cameo videos of various celebrities to try and get jobs with local teams here in Cleveland. Can you tell us a little bit about that for those that don't know out there?
Yeah, so I was at a really, really boring job. Like I was like a videographer. That's what I do now. For
back
Buds
to
and
the same
Pals,
job.
shout out. My boss will love that. But I was working for a plant company. Plants don't move, and I'm a videographer, so I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And so I was like, I want to get a dream job, and I saw the Browns were hiring, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. At that time, I had no sports experience, so I'm like, they're not gonna even give me a shot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta be creative. So Cameo was like getting popular then. And I'm like, what if I hired like all these like Cleveland sports guys to just give me this ridiculous reference? So I had Rajay Davis, Omar, Josh Cribbs, who's a big play guy. I kind of edited his soundbite. He probably isn't happy about that. I haven't talked to him about it. We're
gonna have to go back and pull
talked
that
to his
one.
wife about it. She said that
Maria.
it sounded like it's cool, but anyways, yeah, I put the video out. You shared it, and that's when it gained traction. It got on Sports Illustrated. I had interviews with like the news. It like blew up, but Browns never reached out to me at all. But I ended up getting a job with the Cavs later on, and so I say it was worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like when it's like organic like that, right? You
Yeah.
started off just like us on Twitter, and then all of a sudden you grew into something there.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
And honestly, the Browns passed up on me, but like I think they
The
have
Browns
good,
pass up on a lot of
they have good
prospects,
intuition though.
let's
Like
be
they
honest.
passed up on how many Hall of Famers.
That's
I'm
right.
not saying I'm a Hall of Famer, but I'm not Johnny Manziel either. So,
There's a ringing endorsement right there.
Yeah.
At least I'm not Johnny Manziel.
yeah, maybe we needed a homeless guy to tell Jimmy to hire me, and then I would have been hired.
You went to Cameo. You should have
Yeah.
just gone to a food bank. That's what
Oh,
you should
see,
have done. You know,
that's-
just a
that's-
homeless guy right there.
It would have saved me some credit card money too.
Yeah.
as well.
Kevin Cedar, thanks so much for coming in
Yeah.
today. Singer and guitars for Houdini's Code. Anything else you want to plug right here before we take our break?
Yeah, so definitely check us out. We have a tour. Like I said, we play a bunch of shows. Come check us out. Even if you don't like our music, just come in. And of course, purchase some merch because we're trying to give back to the billionaires like Jimmy and Dee Haslam. And now the Dolans are on the list.
There you go.
We're going to get some free agents and some new seat colors after this tour. But yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Kevin.
much.
Thank
Kevin.
you. Thank
Awesome.
you. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland right after this. The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
It's time for Bringing the Heat with Jensen Lewis right here on the Big Play Cleveland Show, presented by our friends at Northeast Factory Direct. Whether you're remodeling your kitchen, updating your furniture, freshening up your patio, maybe you're looking for a new mattress. Perhaps you've smashed a piece of furniture, broke the recliner during frustration from watching the Guardians offense this summer. You're not alone, and Northeast Factory Direct wants to help you. They're the place to get you right with your furniture this summer. There's no fancy showrooms, no pushy salespeople, just high quality items at unbelievable prices. And it gets even better for our listeners. Head to our social media at Big Play Cleveland and click the link on one of our social posts. Fill out what you're looking for, and we're going to hook you up with an extra special Big Play bonus. When you're shopping in store, Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, North Canton, ask for that Big Play bonus when you're getting ready to check out. You will get an extra hookup. Shop online anytime. NortheastFactoryDirect.com. Jensen Lewis tweeted 2 words after Sunday's loss to the Detroit Tigers. Rock bottom. Jensen, the floor is yours.
Maybe it won't be, guys, but you certainly hope it is. And boy, what a dismal way to finish a homestand that I think everyone would want to forget. But, hate to say it, guys. Writing was on the wall when we first spoke earlier this year. You trade Josh Naylor and Andreas Jimenez after you go to the American League Championship Series, and your impact offense, or I guess you should say your impactful offensive moves, were to bring in Carlos Santana and then re-sign Austin Hedges. You really weren't giving the fan base a lot to wrap their head around other than what are we doing? And I think the fruits of that labor have now come to pass. Unfortunately, a lot of head-scratching moves from the front office, a lot of decisions from Stephen Vogt this year that I'm sure fans will second guess. But this is what regression looks like, guys. And I think the first month and a half of the season, they may have been getting away with some luck, if you will. But the run differential doesn't lie. The offense outside of Jose Ramirez and Stephen Kwan is dreadful. And, all due respect to Will Wilson, and I'm sure he's going to do everything he can to show that he belongs here. But maybe the most head-scratching move of all, you had the opportunity to infuse some energy into this offense and this team and this clubhouse by recalling Chase DeLauder. I don't know what else he has to do to earn the promotion. So that one's on the front office. This is the bed they made. They've got to lay in it.
Jensen, as a player, you were a pitcher back in the day. Have you been on teams that were like this, where you felt that you weren't hitting expectations? And what was running through your mind, especially in a case like this where our pitching's been pretty good, our starting pitching's been pretty good, our offense has been non-existent. You feel that, hey, they're not really pulling their weight here. What is your response? What do you think these players are thinking?
Well, for a pitching staff, tough way to operate day in and day out, just knowing that your room for error is basically null and void. So, listen, it was on a team where we lost 10 in a row. I was your losing pitcher, ironically, giving up the walk-off homer to Miguel Cabrera for that 10th straight loss. Then I was the winning pitcher because we ran off 10 straight wins immediately after that. So it was kind of crazy to be part of the trivia. That's a good beer money question I should ask. But it just, overall, guys, this is why I had said it. When we talked last week, I didn't feel it was rock bottom yet. I still felt like that there was a way for them to turn around. There's been no signs that this team is anywhere close to doing that. And I think that's probably the most frustrating part, is that there's still a lot of baseball left to be played, yet there's no end in sight.
Jensen, would it feel like now it's almost too late to call up Chase DeLauder, CJ Kafis? I mean, we're going to see these guys eventually this season, but it feels like it's all going to be kind of for nothing, right?
I guess there is a school of thought there, Nick. Yeah, where you're like, okay, well, why do it now? I mean, you're just almost reactionary because the bottom has almost fallen out here, if it hasn't already. Post All-Star break, if you start to see some of the rumors come true about Emmanuel Clase being shopped around, Carlos Santana, hey, if you can get a bucket of baseballs for him, great job. But I just feel like, there's that point where, okay, why wouldn't we do this a month earlier and see what we have? And if they do inject that life, they are contributors, then you can kind of go for it before the trade deadline. Nick, I think you're on point here with, okay, why do it now? Is it the better late than never thing? Maybe, but I think the fan base is pretty convinced. There's no one that's going to convince the fan base at this point that the team is headed in the right direction if that's the reactionary move.
And Jensen, how would you evaluate Stephen Vogt thus far? Because right now I'm feeling for the guy, to be honest. 2024 AL Manager of the Year. We saw that little video of Craig Albertez kind of throwing sunflower seeds, and just the sheer relatable just defeat that overcame Stephen Vogt's face. And he's pulling for these guys. He's trying hard. How do you evaluate him at this point?
Yeah, and Gab, you're spot on. I mean, the manager takes it as hard, if not harder, than anyone else, because he believes that it stops with him of, all right, I need to put my team in a better situation. I've said to you guys the whole year, I didn't think he was dealt a fair hand. I don't think he's been playing with a full set of cards since day one of this season with what happened this offseason. That's for the front office to answer to, and they haven't done that yet. I don't suspect they will. That being said, the sign of a guy that you can believe in is right now, when the going gets this tough, and it is about as tough as it's been all season long, you're going to learn more about Stephen Vogt's longevity potential with how he handles this stretch. And it's the way you finish the first half. It's the way you come out in the second half. Is there a way for him to motivate this group and make them play better through anything he can do? Because he's trying. We'll find out a lot more about Stephen Vogt here in the coming weeks about what his long-term potential may look like.
Yeah.
In the coming weeks, we may also find out a little bit more about Luis Ortiz. He finds himself on the wrong side of this gambling investigation right now, stepped away. Major League Baseball is looking into it. What's your thoughts on that situation right now, Jensen?
No sympathy, guys. If indeed the investigation turns up that, he was a knowing participant, guys, we have rules posted. You've all seen the Major League Clubhouse, where right before you enter, there are the rules and regulations that goes for performance enhancing drugs, supplements, gambling, all the different things. And guys, if you feel that someone has approached you or tried to lure you into something is wrong, there are so many resources that are offered to seek help and ask for help of, hey, this is what's happening to me. How do I get out of a bad situation? So again, we'll wait to see what the investigation brings up. But if indeed, things come out, it's on the player to make the right decision. And I think that's what we're kind of waiting to see.
Heavy stuff during our Bringing the Heat segment with Jensen Lewis this week. Doesn't get much better in our Northeast Factor direct question of the week. MLB trade deadline coming up later this month. Will the Guardians have a full-on fire sale, Jensen? Who's definitely getting moved, and who in your mind should be untouchable?
I'm intrigued to see what potential packages are offered for Emmanuel Clase, because I think, guys, we've agreed that we believe Cade Smith is that closer in waiting. And if you know that you're not competing the rest of this season, that is an asset that you certainly have to listen to in earnest. Santana, the 1-year deal, whatever you can get for him is a bonus. You'll probably get some calls maybe on some other back-end bullpen arms. I don't suspect that, any of the younger guys in our team control. I don't even know if there's a value for a Paul Sewald or a Jacob Junis, but they'll on the flip side of this, this front office is known how to kind of wheel and deal a little bit, both buying and selling. I think we learn more coming out of the second half, or at least starting the second half of the season. If it really starts badly, then potentially all options are on the table.
Jeez. Thanks a bunch to VSiN by the Books co-host Jensen Lewis. Go make sure to show him some love on social media at JLew50. Jensen, your live posts during the Guards game, getting me through this thing. Go give him a follow on there, and we'll be back with more Bringing the Heat next week.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. It's time for our Fill in the Blank segment. This is brought to you by our friends at Pure AV. They specialize in sales, service, and installation of a variety of smart home technologies. They can help you get the perfect sports watching setup with their high-performance audio and video displays. They truly do it all. So if you're unhappy with your current setup, Pure AV will even come and fix their competitors' work to make sure your setup is exactly how you envisioned. And if you're worried about keeping a clean interior, they offer hidden audio and video options that allow you to keep that elegant look without sacrificing your favorite technology. Pure AV can set you up with invisible architectural speakers that are hidden in your walls and ceilings, as well as disappearing TVs that vanish behind art or mirrors. Visit pureavcorp.com today to see everything that they can offer for your home. All right, our fill in the blank is here, fellas. Deshaun Watson mentoring Shedeur Sanders is.
Perfect. Shedeur, just do the opposite of everything that Deshaun Watson tells you to do. Done.
I actually don't think it's the worst thing. Those who can't do, teach. Deshaun Watson should not see the field for the Cleveland Browns this year. They got 4 better options than Deshaun Watson at that quarterback position, from Flacco, Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Deshaun Watson's a guy that was an MVP candidate at one point in his career, and he went ahead and screwed it up because he was, allegedly doing nefarious things, with women and massages, and then played himself out of a ton of money with the contract strong arming. I think Shedeur has something to learn from Deshaun Watson, who had it all and lost it because of his own doing. So, Chris, it is kind of similar to what you said. I think he can learn a thing or two from Deshaun Watson, both on the field and off of it, because on the field, this was a guy that was a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League, and off the field was one of the biggest boneheads in the history of the NFL. So I think you could learn a bunch of things of how to not handle yourself off the field, but on the field, how to become actual franchise-changing quarterback.
All right, let's go back to Cavs here. The Cavs' first Summer League game is this Thursday versus the Pacers. On a scale of 1 to 10, my excitement level for the Cavs' Summer League is...
Listen, if the regular season doesn't matter in Cleveland right now, I don't know where you put the summer league. I understand we just drafted a couple of guys, Proctor and Niang, and people are going to be excited to see that. But at the end of the day, I want to see what this team does in the playoffs, and I'm certainly not too concerned over what happens in summer league.
Yeah, the one thing that I am looking forward to seeing is, can Jalen Tyson be a contributor in that 82-game regular season? Because if the regular season really doesn't matter, which I think all of us are under the belief that it doesn't, you're going to need to get Donovan, Darius, Jared, Evan, the vets extra rest. That means you're going to need Tyrese Proctor, Jalen Tyson to shoulder the load and get the Cavs at least to a proper seed here in the Eastern Conference. So I am excited to see a little bit of the youth movement that the Cavs have. I do think they have some exciting young players like Proctor and Jalen Tyson are the two players to really watch, because those are the two players that have the best chance of actually contributing to the Cavs this coming season. But in terms of Summer League performance and if they're going to compete for the championship out there in Vegas, really doesn't matter.
How about free agency? Now that it's in full swing, blank is the Eastern Conference team I am most concerned about.
It's got to be the Knicks for me, and that was because of the news last week where you have Mike Brown coming in as the head coach there. And if anybody who knows Cleveland sports, and I know a lot of Cleveland sports, knows the first thing you think about is how does that affect us, or how does that history affect us? And of course, we have a history with Mike Brown. Mike Brown is going to want to get his against Cleveland, so revenge is going to be on his mind. And boy, I could just see something in the universe coming back with Mike Brown leading the Knicks against us. So that really concerns me.
Yeah, and the Knicks have had a really nice offseason aside from their coaching search. And remember, they were the darlings of last offseason when they got Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns to try to compete with the Boston Celtics. We said all year that we were anticipating a Cavs-Celtics Eastern Conference Finals. Boy, is this already shaking up here in July to be a Cavs versus Knicks Eastern Conference Finals next year, because sure, they hired Mike Brown, and that's a really nice way to pivot off of firing Tom Thibodeau, but you also signed Jordan Clarkson, who can give them some offense, and that was an area where they needed improvement. They needed a big spark, and Yabusele is going to give them a bigger wing option, which we know the Cavs have had a little bit of difficulty defending and finding a way to match opposing teams' wing production. So the New York Knicks have put together a really nice offseason, as have the Atlanta Hawks, as have the Orlando Magic, who got more shooting help with that big Desmond Bane trade before the finals even concluded. No longer is the Eastern Conference going to be just a walk in the park, and that's why I've been pushing this LeBron thing so hard, because I really think the Cavs could use a little bit more help to capitalize on just how wide open this Eastern Conference is.
All right, we saw that Sophie Cunningham kind of took a little shot at Cleveland, and well, first
or Cincinnati,
of all,
or Cleveland,
named us Cincinnati, talking about sort of wanting bigger markets for the WNBA. But anyway, we all kind of took that a little personally. Cue the Michael Jordan meme. And how would you describe, as we all united on X and the social media platforms to defend ourselves, how about rating Cleveland as a sports city? Cleveland is a blank sports city in the U.S.
I mean, the best city in America, the best sports town in America. And is this headline not proof of it? There was news that Cleveland is getting a WNBA team. Can we be honest for a second? Traditionally, WNBA franchises, a lot less intrigue from your three major sports, NFL, NBA, MLB. The Cleveland WNBA team will probably take a back seat. However, it took Cleveland fans no longer than 24 hours to identify their new public enemy number one.
We already have a rival. We don't have a team, and we have a rival.
We don't have a team name. We don't know when they're really going to start. 2028 is going to be when it starts. So we're still 3 years away from playing actual games, and the sports fans in Cleveland are so passionate that they've already identified public enemy number one. This
Maybe
is the
we
best
needed
sports
that.
town in
Honestly,
America.
she was an impetus for getting a little bit more people who might not have been that passionate about it to begin with.
All of a sudden they
but
care.
we react to, wait, was that a slight on us as a city? Because now I'm here for this.
Yeah, I mean, you can have all the Bostons, all the Chicagos, all the Philadelphias, all the New Yorks, all the LAs you want. Per capita, this is the best sports town in America. Everyone, absolutely everybody has an opinion on sports here in Cleveland. You're not going to find that anywhere else.
Hey, we're dropping the mic on that. Again, special thanks to Pure AV. Be sure to check them out at pureavcorp.com. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland right after this. The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Pure AV, luxury home automation. Experience your dream smart home by visiting pureavcorp.com.
Welcome on back into the Big Play Cleveland Show. It's time for our weekly check-in with NASCAR Cup driver Ty Dillon. Ty races in the number 10 Chevy for Kaulig Racing, owned by Matt Kaulig, who fields 3 teams in the Xfinity Series, 2 teams in the NASCAR Cup Series. Ty, welcome on back from Chicago. What a weekend it was on the street course out there. Made some contact with the wall throughout the weekend. How you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm kind of glad we're out of Chicago. That place got after me pretty good. It beat me up I got into the wall in qualifying, and then I hit it once more in the race. It was like every time I got my confidence built up and we were running pretty good and starting to gain speed and feeling pretty competitive, I'd bounce off the wall. Just tight confines in there, and you just got to be super careful. I didn't get it as bad as most. Still came away with the top 20, which I think if you would have signed us up for that to start the weekend, we'd been pretty happy with it. But we had gotten pretty fast throughout the middle part of the race there, and I was really feeling like we're going to have a solid top 15 and maybe flirt with the top 10, and clip the wall in turn 11, and it just broke our upper ball joint, I think, in the right front. Just was really evil to drive after that. We were kind of in survival mode, and let the carnage kind of play out a little bit.
Love it. Top 20 finish, not to mention advancing in the Eaton Season Challenge to the Elite Eight. Won that matchup against Brad Keselowski this past weekend. And there's this video that's going viral of him playing basketball. You had a little call out saying that in a great basketball city like Chicago, had a feeling that it could be a good time to get the best out of Brad. You're having some fun with these post-race interviews, aren't you?
Yeah, it's fun, man. I think this is giving an opportunity for us to show some personality and just have some more fun with our sport, and hopefully the fans are enjoying it. Nothing personal against Brad. I just think basketball's not his game. There's a video. It's been out for a long time. He kind of set back the athleticism of NASCAR drivers for a couple of years with that video. So just a deep pull back to that video, and I'm glad it got resurfaced, and just having some fun. Obviously, he had a rough day, got shortened early, but that's part of this game, is survive and advance. You can't always expect to have a perfect day, and whoever can just last the longest is going to end up having a shot at $1 million.
So you're advancing. Now we'll challenge Alex Bowman. This weekend, you guys are at Sonoma Raceway. It's another road course on Sunday in California. What do you know about it? What you're looking forward to for this upcoming weekend?
One thing I know is the walls aren't so close, so I think we'll have a little bit better shot at not damaging the car too soon. But no, it's a place that I probably have the most experience on in the Cup Series, as many races that I've had there. I really like it. I look forward to it. Also, being in wine country isn't a bad thing. So it's a beautiful countryside out there. It's going to be a little warmer, kind of midsummer. But I like our chances. I feel a lot more confident going there than I did heading into Chicago. Even though Chicago wasn't the best for us, I feel like we learned and grew from that. I think this track's going to be more towards the Mexico City style race, which we ran really well at. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually leaving here and going straight to the simulator with my teammate AJ, trying to learn from him. Obviously, he's a great road course racer, and we're already on to the next week.
Alrighty, you've been a busy guy. I know last Monday, once you wrapped up on the show here, you attended the Victory Junction for a NASCAR Carnival night where drivers and crew members were in attendance to interact with some young campers. Go ahead and tell the audience about your involvement in that little get-together.
Yeah, it was a fun night. We had pretty much most of college racing there, going out and just hanging out with the kids at Victory Junction Camp. It's such a special place. They do so much for the campers there. A lot of fun. We did some pit stop demonstration. We did a little dancing with the kids. But they do such an amazing job. It's camp is free for the kids, and a lot of the race teams and NASCAR families support Victory Junction. So if you've never heard of it, look it up, Victory Junction Camp. It's a wonderful place, and it was very cool for college racing as a whole. I think almost all of our drivers were there supporting and just having fun together, doing a little team building.
Love to hear that. It's always so cool to see you guys out there in the community. I know that's such a big piece of what the colleague crew does. Make sure to go show Ty some love on the social streets at Ty Dillon. He's been having a lot of fun after these races on social, so go throw him a follow on there. Also follow the colleague racing team at colleague racing. Ty, best of luck to you and your in-season challenge matchup this weekend. Have fun out there in wine country, California. Be safe, my friend, and hopefully we're talking about another viral post-race interview next week on the program.
Thanks, guys. Absolutely. Hopefully we'll be back with a nice glass of wine after a great weekend.
We'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland and Ty Dillon next week. We'll be back right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Infinity. Luxury experiences for those who dare to be different. Visit infinityofbeechwood.com today.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. This segment brought to you by our friends at Smart Choice Windows and Smart Choice Baths. If you've been thinking about upgrading your home this spring, then look no further than Smart Choice Windows and Smart Choice Bath. Smart Choice Windows is running a great deal right now. It's buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and it does get even better because they're offering 0% financing for 24 months. Or if you prefer, they've also got the no down payment option with monthly payments as low as $199. Some restrictions apply there. If your bathroom needs an update, the same great team at Smart Choice Baths has you covered. Right now, they're offering $1,500 off a brand new shower or tub this month. So if you've been putting off that remodel, now is the perfect time to go for it. If you're ready for quieter, more energy-efficient windows or a bathroom that finally works for your life, make the call. Dial 440-WINDOWS or head over to smartchoicewindows.com and smartchoicebaths.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate today. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a situation. You got to tell me what the smart choice would be. The Guardians are probably going to be sellers at the trade deadline. The smart choice would be to
do a full-blown fire sale, trade everything that's not bolted down right now, and for God's sakes, please play the kids. Bring up the kids, play the kids. Let's see what we've got. At least give us a little bit of excitement to root on these young guys as they develop with the big club.
Yeah, it is time to blow this thing all the way up. And I really do think that you can get some really nice prospects out of Emmanuel Clase. You could get something out of Carlos Santana.
Yep.
And listen, if you can't get anything out of Lane Thomas, Nolan Jones, just get rid of them. Just get them out of here because that spot should be Chase DeLauder. First base should be CJ Kafis. It is time for a little bit of a youth movement. It feels like the logjam of prospects are finally ready to be set free. And if this truly is a lost season for our guards, there's no time like the present to let the young kids play.
All right, how about if you have a budget for one Cleveland sports team's season tickets, the smart choice would be to pick which team?
I'd be the Cavs. I mean, the Cavs are obviously the ones that's closest right now to winning a championship. And also, I really like the in-game experience with the Cavs. They have invested a lot of money from intros to in-game entertainment to everything that goes on. Heck, in the playoffs last year, we only saw it once, but we invested $500,000 in a Cavalanche machine. So they're constantly looking at that in-game entertainment, which doesn't necessarily appeal as much to me since I'm more interested in what happens on the court. But if I'm bringing my kids, if I'm bringing customers, if I'm bringing friends, I want to be able to show them the entire show that is a Cleveland game.
And that's what makes this a great sports town. I'm going to say it's the Cleveland Cavaliers as well, Chris.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Well, you know what? I'm impartial, guys, because I do love the Guardians' atmosphere at the ballpark, and it is family fun.
Yeah.
They've got the food. They've got the great views. We do give a ton of giveaways away, the bobbleheads, the shirts. We know how to run that in-game entertainment aspect, Chris, that you're talking about, the fireworks, rock and blast. I think that's great, and obviously we just want to see our guys performing a little better right now.
And they've also invested a lot of money in
They
the
have.
entertainment areas. I know there's more areas and more to do within the stadium, so it's not just watching this team that's on the field right now, but if you come with a family, you're able to go to those areas. They've got cornhole. They've got other attractions that are out there for the kids. So things that'll keep your interest and make it still a nice day, even though the team may not be performing right now.
It's true. I know the kids love it too. I met a couple of kids from out of state, California. They were going with their dad to all of the ballparks, and I think they're on their 4th stadium. They're in Cleveland. They're like, this is the best one. They were just so impressed with all the things for the kids to do on the family deck. So there's definitely some versatility in the ballpark. We just got to get our guys hitting, make some moves, do something. We'll see what's ahead for our Cleveland Guardians. Thanks for watching the Big Play Cleveland Show. We'll be back next week.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows, energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit